Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So I wanted to give my thoughts on this newest PFF mock draft, especially as it relates to the Giants. But I'll just go through the top 10 because you have to see what happens in the top 10 in order to understand how the Giants got to this point. So, of course, the first two picks, a lot of people predict Trevor Lawrence and then Zach Wilson to the Jets after Lawrence goes to the Jags. And then at number 3, the Falcons take Justin Fields. They trade up one spot to take him. I guess, Miami has a whole bunch of takers and the Falcons really want Justin Fields. So sure, that works. That's sort of realistic. The Dolphins take Devontae Smith. That's been something that's a debate because people think if the Dolphins are going to go wide receiver, it will be Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle because they both can play in the slot. They have two outside guys already. But even then, Devontae Smith, that's not a horrible pick. That's realistic, I can see. And then the Bengals pass on Penei Sewell, pass on the number 1 tackle, which is their biggest need for Jamar Chase. Now, as an LSU fan, for someone who would love to see this reunion, if Penei Sewell is on the board and the Bengals take Jamar Chase, listen, if they take a receiver, I'm going to be livid as a Joe Burrow fan and even as a Jamar Chase fan. I'm going to be livid because you got the receiver and you have T. Higgins across from him, but you still aren't protecting Joe Burrow. So maybe they change that in free agency. Maybe they can't go Jamar Chase here. But moving on, the Eagles take Jalen Waddle. Sure, that's realistic. The Lions take Michael Parsons. I could see that. The Panthers take Mac Jones in the top 10. Now that is something special. And also, could you really imagine the Eagles passing on Penei Sewell to take Jalen Waddle? But again, we're at 8 and Mac Jones goes. That's pretty high for Mac Jones. But if the Panthers feel like he can be good, I think he's a first-round quarterback. And I just have a rule. If you're a first-round quarterback, I don't care where you get taken in the first round. Because if you have him ranked in the first round, someone else might have him ranked as a top 5 pick. It's just how it goes with quarterbacks. People will reach on them all day because your guy is going to be your guy. So take him when you need him. Fine. Mac Jones at 8. Then the Texans. They traded with Denver. I guess they're saying that Deshaun Watson is going to Denver. So the Texans have the 9th pick, and they take Trey Lance at 9. This is a quarterback crazy draft, except the receivers all went too. And then the Cowboys are here, and they choose Pat. They don't take Pat Surtain. They take Caleb Farley, who I have as my number 1 corner, and I'm fine with that. But they can take all the corners they want. But are the Cowboys going to pass on Penei Sewell for Caleb Farley? Are the Eagles going to pass on Penei Sewell for Jalen Waddle? Are the Lions going to pass on Penei Sewell? Are the Bengals going to pass on him? Even if they do sign a free agency left tackle, are they going to pass on Penei Sewell? I doubt it. I find it hard that the Falcons, the Falcons traded their pick. They traded up. But I find it hard that some of these Dolphins and Bengals and Eagles, Cowboys, they all pass on Penei Sewell. And then, of course, at 11, the Giants just take the no-brainer. The Giants get Penei Sewell. The Giants get Penei Sewell at 6'6", 325. Monster who would probably play left or right tackle for us, and it'd be scary for defenses regardless because imagine Penei Sewell, who's a physical freak who can move like he can move at 6'6", 325, and Saquon Barkley running behind him. I know that this will never happen, but it almost makes me want to make a Penei Sewell video just so I can just hype how good he is and how great he can make our run game. After this, it kind of gets more evened out. The draft kind of gets more realistic. But what do you guys think about that? Type it down in the comments. Penei Sewell to the Giants after, 3 or 4 teams that really need tackles that don't have their starting 2 tackles, down on paper, and they're going to pass on a generational tackle prospect. Sure, he's not the most polished, but It doesn't make sense. PFF is once again, I don't know, man. They're getting their prescriptions from someone new. That's all I'll say. But to talk about how Penei Sewell would be on the Giants, I think he'd be a perfect fit. I think we have Andrew Thomas, who is a really good run blocker and who is getting better in the pass blocker. And then across from him, wherever, I mean, I don't care who plays what. Is them across from each other, two bookends would be amazing for whatever quarterback we have. Hopefully it will be Daniel Jones. At this point, I mean, you have DJ back there behind Sewell and Thomas. Come on now. That's a dream. Whoever's at running back, I mean, at this point, is it even worth paying Saquon? Because you have two dominant run blocking tackles who have upside to be dominant pass blockers. And we could literally have one of the best tackle duos of the past, 10, 15 years. And then if you keep someone like Zeitler, if you keep someone like Hernandez with, Lemieux coming off the bench. And Lemieux, I think, played with Sewell. So you have those guys. And then Nick Gates, nasty Nick Gates in the middle. That offensive line will be a real strength. And like I said, I'm going to preface this with this will never happen in a million years. But I think we all can agree. If Penei Sewell is on the board, and, the only person in this draft I'm taking over Penei Sewell is maybe Jamar Chase. Maybe Jamar Chase and Trevor Lawrence. Just because Trevor Lawrence, I think, is just that good. Not because I don't believe in DJ, but it's just that great of a prospect to where if he was there at 11, you take it. And even if you have to trade him, you just take that quarterback. But I just, PFF continues to surprise me every week. I mean, the things that they come up with, the way that they come to their conclusions is just ridiculous. They put too much emphasis on the numbers. You have to understand that numbers aren't everything. And I'm going to have a video more detailed about statistics and sports and everything. But the numbers can tell whatever story you want, but they're not always the complete truth. This just shows you that PFF is off their rocker to where they think that 4 quarterbacks and 3 receivers are going in the top 10, which, and that's the thing. If you're only looking at the numbers, then of course your receivers and quarterbacks are going to all go at the top of the draft because if PFF, the way that they rate them, they probably have the most impact on the game. But the thing is, when you have a unicorn at left tackle or at right tackle, I don't care what position he plays, when you have a unicorn there, it doesn't matter what receivers are on the board because you cannot find unicorn left tackles every year. You can find a good receiver every year. You can find a number 1 receiver every draft. You can find a starting, star potential quarterback every draft. But there are times where you do not get that generational left tackle, that prospect. It just doesn't happen all the time. So, as I said, this will be a crazy, crazy situation that I don't ever think would happen. And I just think is ridiculous. And it's funny that I even decided to make a video about this. But I just wanted to share this with you all. Obviously, I know you guys are going to leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. If the Giants got Penei Sewell, I'd be celebrating for months. So let me know what you think of this draft. Let me know what you think of my reaction. And then the other picks and the trades at the top of the draft too. I'm going to get out of here. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.